Hey guys, it's me. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a topic that not a lot of us think about. It's the rising cost of fuel, and how does this affect our bottom line? So as a truck driver, as an owner-operator, as somebody who's trying to get into the industry or wants to get into industry, what is the cost of fuel doing to our bottom line, and how is that affecting our pockets? So in today's video, I'm going to be analyzing what is the cost per mile when it comes to fuel, and what it's going to be if the fuel hikes up to $5 per gallon and even $5.50 per gallon. So as you've seen in the last 6 months, the rise of fuel is there. Right now, I think we're approaching the $4 per gallon, and it is very realistic that the cost of fuel is gonna hit $5 and also $5.50 per gallon over the next year. So what is this going to do to our bottom line numbers? What is this going to do to our pocket? So in today's video, I'm going to be analyzing two different types of trucks. I'm going to be taking a comparison of $4 per gallon as the price, which is right now, and I'm going to be putting it at $5 and $5.50. I'm going to show you what it costs us today to run a mile, and I'm going to show you what it's going to cost us tomorrow running a mile with paying $5.50 per gallon. So let's get into the video. So in a recent poll that I've done, it turns out that 50% of us drivers there are driving newer models, which are getting 8 to 8.5 and 9 miles per gallon. And then there are other drivers that are driving the old school iron, the Kenworth W900s, the flat nose Pete's, and they're getting 6.5 miles per gallon. So both my charts, I will post it. So the drivers driving the Volvos and the Freightliners, the newer models, they're getting 8.5 miles per gallon, and the older models are getting on average 6.5. Now this was the poll that I did for you guys, and I think we've had about 2,400 people answer the question, and mostly it lies in these two numbers. So drivers that are getting 8.5 to 9, and then drivers that are getting 6.5 or under 6.5. So these are the two charts that I've built. Okay, we're going to take into comparison the 10,000 miles is the average miles per month per year is what somebody drives. So an average driver drives 10,000 miles. A cross-border long-haul driver or just a long-haul driver in the US drives about 10,000 miles per month. And these are the numbers that we're going to be producing today. We're gonna have the gallons used per truck. We're gonna be taking this video and we're doing it in US dollars, but stay tuned if you are Canadian like myself, stay tuned till the end. I did have a separate column for what this costs for Canadians, for us Canadians filling up in the US doing cross-border. So paid in US, and then the cost per mile. So that's the most important thing that we're looking for. We're looking for our cost per mile today. Let's post up these charts. So first of all, we're going to talk about these Volvos, these Freightliners, these Kenworths, I guess the next gen Kenworths, the ones that are getting 8.5 to 9 miles per gallon. Here's my chart that I've posted up. So here you have it on the left hand side. You'll see the cost per gallon, and I've taken $4, $4.25, $4.50, $4.75, and I took it down all the way to $5.50 per gallon. In my second column, I have how many miles I drive per gallon, and that's at 8.5. My miles driven is 10,000 miles. The gallons used based on this mileage, the gallons used and then paid in US dollars. Okay, so if you see that, I used 1,176 gallons and I filled up at $4 US per gallon, I paid $4,700 US, and my cost per mile is 47 cents. Well, if that fuel went up to $4.25, my cost per mile is 50 cents. If a fuel is $4.50, my cost per mile is 53 cents. So when we get to $5 per mile, my cost per mile is going up to 60 cents per mile. Okay, so the cost of fuel is going to go up. They're predicting that it's going to go up to about $5.50, and it's going to cost me 65 cents per mile. So if you're doing a load, if you're an owner operator, if you have your own authorities and you're thinking, what should I charge extra now that the fuel is more expensive? If you're an owner operator working for a company and you're getting paid per mile, well, you know what your cost per mile is now that the fuel is going to go up to $4.75 and $5. So your rates as an owner operator, your rate per mile should be going up gradually also. Okay, so here we have it. Today we are paying for anybody driving one of these trucks, the Volvos, the Freightliners, and the Kenworths, I would say the next gens, or more of the aerodynamic trucks, that are getting 8.5 miles per gallon. Today, you're paying 47 cents per mile. That is your cost. that is your bottom line. What does a mile cost you with fuel? It costs you 47 cents per mile. Well, tomorrow when the gas price is gonna be $5.50, you're gonna be paying 65 cents per mile. Okay, so there you have it. You have 12 cents extra per mile for every mile that you drive, which is going to be the difference between $4 and $5.50 per mile. Okay, so if you are filling up at $5.50 per gallon, you're going to be paying 65 cents per mile just on fuel. Now, if you are a Canadian driver, that's why I have this column over here, and you are going to be paying, right now you're paying 58 cents Canadian per mile, and you're going to be paying 80 cents Canadian per mile just on fuel. Now again, these are the more aerodynamic trucks. Now let's get into the trucks that are not aerodynamic. So the W900s, the flat nose trucks. I think that a lot of people who are driving the Cummins engines are getting around the 6.5 miles per gallon. So if you are around the 6.5 miles per gallon, you're gonna relate more to this, and the difference is even more. Okay, so let's post up this chart. So here it is. Okay, so if you're driving, I just took Kenworth W900, I put it up on top, don't mind that, but it's any one of those trucks that are getting less than or 6.5 miles per gallon. Well, today you are paying $4 US per gallon at 6.5 miles per gallon, driving 10,000 miles. You are using 1,538 gallons. Okay, so you're paying $61.53 US for the fuel, and it's costing you 62 cents per mile is what it costs you to run 1 mile. Well, guess what? If the cost of fuel is going to go up to $5 US per gallon, it's going to cost you 77 cents US to run a mile. And if it goes up to $5.50, you're going to be paying 85 cents per mile. Well, now you have a difference between 17 cents per mile. So that's a lot. I mean, if 17 cents per mile on one run, that's 1,000 miles, is going to cost you an extra, 17 times 1,000 is $170. So it's going to cost you an extra $170 to run 1,000 miles. It's going to cost you $1,700 more to run 10,000 miles. Okay, so these numbers are big. Now you know, I mean, if you are working as an owner-operator, if you have your own authorities, okay, these numbers are really an eye-opener for you on what it costs you to run per mile based on these numbers. So again, 50% of the drivers out there with their own trucks, owner-operators or lease operators, are getting 6.5 miles per gallon. So you need to know that if the cost of fuel is going to go up to $5.50, you're going to be paying an extra 17 cents per mile is what your cost is. So you need to know what to pass along to the customer or to the trucking company that you're working for. All right, so my Canadian drivers, what is it costing you? So if you look at this graph that I created, and if your truck is driving at 6.5 miles per gallon, currently right now you are paying 76 cents per mile. That is your cost per mile. Okay, now if the fuel goes up to $5.50 per gallon, you're going to be paying $1.04 Canadian per mile. That's going to be your cost. Your cost is going to be over $1 per mile to run your truck. So make sure that you know what it is that you're billing and how much you need to bill for when the fuel does hike up to $5.50 per gallon. So just like I promised, I mean, here was the data. I just posted the data for you. Now you know how much you're going to be paying extra per mile, and this is really good information for you. I feel like a lot of drivers, when I talk to them, they don't actually know what it costs them to run per mile. They give me approximate numbers. But when I talk to them, I said, listen, do you actually know what it costs you to run per mile? Well, now you do. You know what it costs to run your truck per mile. So you're either closer to 8.5 miles per gallon or you're closer to 6.5 miles per gallon. And these charts will help you determine what you're paying for fuel. If you have drivers working in the industry, share the content with them. If you know of drivers that that would benefit from this video, share the content with them. Whether it's on WhatsApp, Facebook, just copy the URL and share it with them. I'm sure they will benefit from this video. We all need to know how this fuel is going to affect our bottom line. And these numbers here, now you know how it's going to affect your bottom line. So enjoy the data. Now you know, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.